Welcome, welcome. This is the Wayward Inquisition. Chamberlain Jonas here for the new edition of World Building Plus, brought to you streamlined in a nice compact package for you. So without further ado, let's get to it. I'm going to be talking about dragons. Dragons are a very important part of fantasy, and in my experience in the campaigns that I have played in, dragons don't get the respect that they deserve. The parties I have played with, we tended to just annihilate any dragon, even the ancient ones. Those ones were a bigger fight, but we pretty much decimated them, and I don't like that. I think dragons should be kind of the ultimate opponent. I would say equivalent to the BBEG, honestly, if not greater, which might sound crazy. But hear me out. The dragons, with their scales, and they are typically very long-lived. They're ancient beings, I think that they are strong in magic. I think their breath weapons are natural, but I also think that they are connected, heavily to magic. And oh, sorry. And wow, just lost my train of thought. Oh, so in my Life Will campaign that I do, I have that there's only one of each type of standard dragon, like blue, red, none of the metallic ones, none of the gemstone ones like amethyst or emerald. I kind of go through the staple colors, and there's only that one dragon. No dragonlings, no little babies. And the reason for this is these dragons, they are immortal in every sense of the word. They can't be harmed. They don't age. They don't need to eat or sleep. But they do partake in it. Oftentimes, they'll be like, well, nothing's going on. I'm going to take a little slumber here. Wake me up in 1,000 years, or sooner if something interesting starts cooking. And they were the original, guardians, the shepherds of the young races when they were starting to evolve and grow. And now that the world is kind of populated and civilized, plus in Life Will there was a whole kind of dragon war, so they've taken a step back. They're gonna leave it to the mortals to do as they see fit. Now I'm going to break the dragons down into each video will be over a specific dragon. This first one gets a little bonus with just my thoughts on dragons. And so I was thinking that we would start with the red dragon. Good old fire breath. Let me pull up red dragons here. Where'd you go? There you are. All right. I gotta have that visual image, I'm a visual kind of guy. Yeah. And now, when I think of dragons, and especially with how like 5e has them set up, I don't think of them so much in the way that they have them, where the red dragon just has red scales. I mean, that's nice, don't get me wrong, but I like for them to have a bit more pizzazz. So I had found some images of some like lava scaled dragons, and it's like, yes, I want a molten looking dragon for my fire dragon. And and red dragons, since they're fire, you could go kind of the, I guess, cliched route of them being the hothead, you know, pun intended, and maybe they're a bit brash. And, you know, you could have it be male or female. I tend, for fire, kind of in general, I tend to lean more towards male. Could be because I am one, and the voice that I gave my red dragon was pretty enjoyable. The first time they met him, he came out of this lava pit and who dares awaken me, Sutar, the flame of death. And yeah, so you can have all kinds of fun with red dragons. You could make them a boss. You know, maybe they are an antagonist. You could have them, you know, terrorizing some village or kingdom, and you know the hero's gotta come in and put a stop to it, either by brokering a deal or by, you know, well, slaying the dragon, of course. And with red dragons, theirs is kind of an interesting elemental type, being fire, because fire is often depicted as something that purges or cleanses. So if you wanted to get really like fancy, add that razzle dazzle, you know, you could have your red dragon be a really kind of religious zealot. And that's why they're going around causing this havoc, is because they're doing the Lord's work. They are purging by fire. And of course, with all dragons, if you wanted to, you could throw in, maybe they have offspring. So, you know, you could have your adventurers fight some smaller dragons to, you know, lead up to the big boss. Let's see what this says about red dragons. Let's see, red dragons tirelessly seek to increase their treasure hoards. That's kind of all dragons, right? They're all about treasure, typically. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Bright red scales. Okay, red dragons prefer mountainous terrains, badlands, and any other locale where they can perch high. Well, that just sounds like dragons to me. Come on. No, red dragons, if it's going to be a mountain, it's going to be like Mount Doom. They need a volcano in there. That's where they're gonna sleep, inside of the lava. You hear me? They are all about the heat, the fire, the flames. Through the fire, through the rain. Yes, that was a Dragon Force reference. In case you were wondering, they're pretty awesome. So along with that, for red dragons, like a desert area would work well for them, given, the heat. Yeah, they definitely put them in a hot environment. Because, I mean, that's their jam. Let's see, what else does this say? Red dragons fly into destructive rages, act on impulse. Yeah, that's kind of going back to the hot-headed as before. They, according to 5e, they stand out in arrogance, which, yeah, I can see that. That kind of ties into the hot-headedness in a way. And yeah, definitely how I played my red dragon. He was very against his sister, the green dragon, to her assisting the heroes. Status and slaves. Red dragons fiercely territorial. That is a common thing, and that's kind of how I picture red dragons too. Because it says they fiercely, are territorial. Fierce, I think, is the main thing with red dragons. They don't put up with anybody's poop. They're large. They're in charge. So get out of their way or burn. And yeah, blah, blah, blah. Other things. Another fun thing to do with dragons is for them to give boons or blessings to your players, power-ups, perks. So you could have the red dragon bestow on somebody, a weaker, smaller version, obviously, of their fire breath. Or they could infuse, maybe they infuse one of the players with some of their red scales so that they gain fire resistance or just extra AC or both. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have on fire dragons. I mean, I guess all dragons are kind of straightforward, but yeah, I wouldn't say that the red dragon is not dumb. I really wouldn't say any of them are dumb, although coming up on another video, I'll be doing the I think it's the blue dragon that's lightning, right? Yeah. And that one, how I portray the blue dragon, he comes off as dumb, but I wouldn't say that he is dumb. Does that make sense? But yeah, red dragons are definitely, they're pompous. They know more than you do. You need to appease them or else. And so yeah, I hope this helped with your world building and campaigns. Maybe spark some ideas of something to do with red dragons. And be sure to tune in to some of our other streams. And like I said earlier, I wasn't kidding. These were going to be nice, short, and sweet. So, yeah, do the liking, the subscribing, commenting, all that good stuff. And remember that freedom always crits. Bye!